Welcome to Stop Dating Losers. Get your free relationship advice on my website. Subscribe and share this video with everyone you know, and let us begin, shall we? All right, first comment out of 5 for today's show. Why are people so dumb? All the stuff people say on social media have zero reputable or educational backing. They just say the worst things. I genuinely think social media engines pay people to be like bots and posts stupid things for clicks and traction. Okay. Yes, that possibility does exist. There's millions and millions of dollars floating around, but we won't get into any of that. I'm just going to put out there, in general, with people acting dumb and posting dumb things on social media, you're asking why? Well, because the ones who are, I'm not talking about bots or anything, I'm not going to get into that. That is a possibility, but there are real people posting things. They sound like bots, but they're not. And to them, I say they're acting dumb, as this person puts it, because they're hurting inside. So the dumb things would be things like all women are stupid, all men are stupid, anything that basically attacks men or women. And so there's going to be dumb men and dumb women online. And I have to say dumb because all they post are dumb things. That they're very negative things to say. They're not productive at all. And essentially, they don't help anybody. And the only people who identify with such dumb comments are people who are going through the same negative emotions. They recently suffered a failed relationship, or they're miserable living alone. They have no hope. And so they'd rather cope instead of work on their lives to improve their lives. And so, yes, why? That's exactly why. Because negative energy just creates more negative energy. And then the people coping with miserable lives, they all get together, they all huddle together virtually and thumb each other up and say, yeah, women are stupid, I agree. Yeah, men are stupid, I agree. And so you end up with this dumb peanut gallery. And they think that they're so cool, that they're so righteous, when in reality, they're all just a bunch of dumb people. I'm sorry to say, but that's the horrible reality of it all on social media. It doesn't matter if they don't have educational backing, zero reputation. It doesn't matter. And they do say the worst things. So yeah, that addresses that. It'll always be that way, unfortunately, I highly suspect, because the trajectory isn't looking too good on either side, with men or with women. There's a lot of silent men, and there's a lot of silent women. It's really stupid. It's dumb, as a person says. They don't want to talk about anything positive to do with relationships. Some of them do on the women's side, because the men are mostly mute, too scared to talk about relationships most of the time. I would say men complain more often than women. I've seen a lot of great comments from women on social media, far more than men saying good things about women. Yes. So I would say the women are clearly winning by a long shot, but there's a lot of silent women too. Scaredy cats. They don't want to say anything about relationships. So yeah, you got dumb people on both sides. All right, next comment. I feel sorry for women nowadays. Most women aren't loved passionately or treated right. They are expected to do everything, yet receive very little in return. Now I understand why so many are single by choice and difficult to approach. Well, they're single because they either need to recuperate from their wounds, they need to heal their hearts. But the ones who choose to be single forever, well, we're back to the dumb topic again, aren't we? Because they're choosing to be losers, which, in my opinion, is a very dumb choice to make. All right, we'll get off of the dumb topic. But yes, they're choosing to be losers because, well, they feel that they failed that there was only one try or a few tries, like a video game. You only get a certain amount of continues, when the truth is you get infinite continues until you get it right, until you find the right partner. So if they give up on themselves and choose to be a loser forever and waste their lives away thinking that they're happy when they know they're not, they just want to admit it, then yeah, it's a really foolish choice. And I would encourage them not to be losers, but a lot of people you just can't help. Their lives are ruled by fear. They don't have a voice. They don't have courage. They don't have willpower. So you feeling sorry for women nowadays, well, I feel sorry for a lot of men too, who go through abusive relationships, pretty much the same as women. But, there's this argument that women suffer more than men, and I disagree. In some things, yes, but in other things, men suffer more than women. It just depends on a case-by-case basis what exactly we're talking about and the context and the angle. The devil's in the details, right? So passion should work both ways. If you want to talk about how sad it is that a lot of women, because this person's saying that all women, and that's clearly false. Women nowadays, the modern day woman. No. There's lots of happy women too, and they're happy to discuss their happy relationships. The problem is people are addicted to drama, and they don't care to hear about success stories. But the women who do have successful relationships, they do share with people online to learn from, and they try to help others with their advice. But again, nobody's really listening, because people are addicted to drama on social media, for the most part. I'd say at least 90% or more. If it was otherwise, I would gladly say so, but it is doom and gloom on social media. You got a bunch of mutes who are too scared to say anything positive, but they will speak up and shout anything negative, because I guess that's the cool thing to do, which only losers do, by the way. And you have a lot of positive people on social media all across, all different platforms, saying great things and trying to teach others. And the majority of people just don't care. They don't care because they don't want a good story, a happy ending, and they don't want to improve their lives. They just want to go online and vent out their misery online. Unfortunately. So to choose to be single by choice and not to get back in there and find the right person, well, if you need time to heal, go ahead. But you need to get back out there and find the right person, because if you don't, then now you're the loser. Because if you would have succeeded in the first place, you wouldn't give up on yourself so easily. Just like anything, get up and try again. Because the moment you stay down and give up, that's on you. You can't blame the world anymore. For example, the women that this person's discussing here, all the women who suffer. Okay, well, those women, those victims, they have a choice. Either you get back up, first of all, break up your relationship, divorce, whatever it may be, and get back up and, take some time off and find the right person. Take a year or two off, but don't take a whole lifetime off, because now you have nobody to blame but yourself. I'll have to say that. And suffering happens on both sides. But a lot of beautiful things also happen on both sides. There's a lot of women who get treated as they deserve, beautifully, with lots of love and passion by loving men. And there's a lot of men who get treated beautifully and passionately by lots of loving women. The problem is you won't hear so much about the success stories because they're happy. I mean, a lot of them do try to share on social media, but who wants to listen to that? Right? It's just nothing but negative drama these days. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next comment. When a woman truly loves you, she'll fix her attitude, her tone, her habits, anything that risks losing you. Absolutely. See, this is a beautiful comment. Very beautiful. Because they're saying true love. And the same applies with a man who truly loves the woman he's with. And I love what this person here says. Fix her bad attitude is what they mean. Her negative tone, her bad habits, basically anything that risks losing her partner. Very beautifully. This is true love. When a woman says, I'm not changing, you can't change me, I'm not, well, then you should stay alone. And if you insist on doubling down and being stupid, meaning inflexible and foolish, then you deserve to be miserable alone. I hate to say, but you're choosing not to grow, not to be a better person, to become a better person. You got to go through that change, that transformation. You got to spin your own cocoon if you want to fly one day. But if you want to crawl on the earth like a worm and never turn into a butterfly the way you were meant to be, and fly high and proud and fast, that's on you. So yes, when a man or a woman truly loves their partner, they'll fix all the negative, and they'll want to fix each other's problems. They'll want to be a genie in a bottle for each other. Your wish is my command. That's true love. Your wish is my command. Any fantasies you have, any desires, what do you want, honey? Every single day, by the way. That's true love. And if that sounds like an exaggeration to you, if that's an exaggeration for you, you need to change. Because you're destined to be in a mediocre, meaningless relationship. Unhappy, by the way. You can lie to yourself saying you're happy in a mediocre relationship, but you know you're not. You're not fooling anybody. Well, you'll fool the people who don't know any better. And yes, so I really do love this comment. True love makes you do everything correctly. Those who haven't felt true love before, maybe they felt love on a very basic level. But true love is through the roof. It's in the sky. There is no limit. It's not even at the top of a mountain. It's way beyond. It's out of this world. Understand? That's what true love is. You're willing to do everything. So I really love this comment. Wow, the best comment, in fact, of the whole series in these 3 seasons so far. That's the best comment that I've ever seen on social media. Extremely rare. Bravo. Bravo. And that was written by a woman, by the way. Obviously not a man, because that would be even more rare for an actual man. I mean, I would write such a thing, but that's not fair because I'm a relationship coach. That's my job, to be honest and to give the most powerful advice possible. So to find another man doing the same, extremely rare. Pretty much almost impossible. It's possible, obviously, but good luck finding it on social media. Usually it's the women who say beautiful things like that, but again, it's very rare. Bravo. Okay, next comment. Good morning, queens. Quick question. Why are we always fighting against one another? That's a good question. Women will click with other women they barely socialize with to try and bring you down. Yeah, crabs in a bucket, sure. Happens on both sides. Men do the same thing. Stop recruiting other folks to hate people with you. Yeah, preach. Especially as grown women, we have become extremely petty, sensitive, and childish. You don't say. And quiet, too. A lot of quiet women out there. Scaredy cats. I have learned walking away is so peaceful. Have an amazing day, beautiful. Okay, well, yeah, we're back into the circus of social media for the most part. Yes, so she mentioned crabs in a bucket, bringing each other down because, well, they're miserable. Miserable people want to bring other people down. If you're happy or not, they don't care. It's all the same. But if you complain online just like they do, the losers, right? All they do is complain, oh, women this, men that. Then they won't bring each other down because, well, they're busy trying to take down other people who are happy or who feel indifferent. They have to force you to choose their negative dark side. Take you to the dark side, right? Yeah, so it's a great question. And my question is to the silent women out there. Why are you so silent? Why are you so scared to speak up in a good, positive, helpful way, not only to other fellow women, but to men as well? There are, like I said before, very few men, if any, saying positive things on how to help each other with relationships. But there are women who do try to help men and women out there with their positive advice. That's the only thing you'll find on social media, primarily 90 something percent of the time, almost 100%. Well, yeah. So, this is an honest question. Stop recruiting other folks. They're not necessarily recruited. They're just encouraged negatively to do. Well, destruction is easy. It's easier than actually constructing something. Being constructive is positive and life changing. A few words could change another person's life, but it's so easy to just be destructive in this world. So that's pretty much the answer to that question. You're trying to convince people who are willingly choosing to be losers, and unfortunately, you can't help those who have gone far. They're far too gone. They've gone way too far. There's no limits to how much of a loser they want to be online. All right, last comment of the show, shall we? When a man leaves a long-term relationship, the girl's first thoughts are often, he found someone else, or how could he do this? What women don't consider are the times he felt terrible or when she disrespected him. Men don't just wake up one day and decide to leave. A man's actions and words build up over time, and eventually he can't carry the weight anymore. Yeah, okay, so everybody has their threshold. And the same applies to good-hearted women who are being mistreated by men in that relationship. So, yeah, it always works both ways, but for the sake of the comment, let's go ahead and address it. Okay, so men. Yes, generally speaking, good men endure more problematic situations because they really don't want the inconvenience of having to end their relationship and find somebody else. It is inconvenient because especially if these good men are pouring their heart and soul into the relationship, and they're like, wow, good men are usually more problem solving. Good-hearted women are more hoping that the relationship will work. They try to problem solve, but not exactly like men. They're more emotional in that regard, even though men are emotional too. They hope that the relationship, they hope that some miracle is going to happen instead of trying to actually solve the problems. Or they do try to solve the problems, but there's just no luck. There's no positive effort with the toxic man that they're with. So it's really tough to say. It's a case-by-case basis. But yes, nobody good-hearted, either man or woman, they don't just decide to leave all of a sudden in a long-term relationship. It's extremely inconvenient. It's very heartbreaking and soul-crushing. It's not always about convenience. It's also about, that heart, protecting yourself, and you really don't want to lose it. It's not being stubborn to try to make an incompatible relationship work. It's really putting everything you have into it because that's what you really want. You want things to work out. And it's such a shame. It's a crying shame when, especially in a long-term relationship, the man or the woman eventually turns into this toxic person that you no longer recognize. And it really is crushing because not only do you lose that loving feeling, but you eventually destroy the relationship that you fought so hard to support and to keep alive. So with that said, if you have a comment that you would like for me to go over on this show, put it down in the comment section down below. This has been Coach Ben. Stop dating losers. Much love, everybody.